you mentioned at the beginning there that multinational companies, they know Dale Carnegie and they buy into what you're explaining more easily. How much work does it take you to get a Japanese company to buy into this? Like, you can explain it to them like you've just explained here. And you mentioned when they come for training, when their staff come for training, it's in one ear, out the other. But of course, in the moment, they're probably hearing you and they're saying, oh, that makes sense. But when they leave, then they're not applying it, right? Getting the management of a Japanese domestic company to buy into this concept in Dale Carnegie and take seriously what you're offering, how much more difficult is that?
Yes, a lot more difficult. A lot more difficult. And yes, you're right. Intellectually, when we explain about comfort zone, they get it. We talk about the issues, they get it. The trouble is, they're very conservative. No one gets rewarded in a Japanese company for taking a risk. You get demerits for making a mistake. How do you not make a mistake? Do nothing new.
Never take a risk.
Never take a risk, never make any changes, steady as she goes. So there's a real contradiction between what they need to be doing and what they're actually doing in terms of how they evaluate people. So we have to get them to see to believe. So often what we'll do is we'll say to the learning and organizational development people or the HR people, come and do the course yourself. Now, once they experience our training and they see the behaviour change of their classmates and themselves, when they see that coming out of the comfort zone, it's built into the training. Things we talked about, they see it in reality, then they understand, then they realise, oh my God, what we're doing hasn't any of that, even with the multinational companies. Yes, we've got globally designated training, or we've even localised it in Japan, but our trainers aren't anywhere near as good as these Dale Carnegie trainers. Our training is just information crossover. It's not got anything in there to have behaviour change. That's when the penny drops and they start to realise, oh wow, this is a totally different game here, and we're not part of it. And that's when they see the value. So it's much longer and harder, and you've just got to be very patient and you've got to keep going. And it often happens, we have our consultants get together once a week, we have our meeting. I'm sitting there and often I'll hear, oh, now we've got so-and-so as a new client. Great, we met them 4 years ago.
Right.
We met them 3 years ago. Often happens, 3 or 4 year gestation period of constant attention before they'll do it. And then, even some cases, and this drives me nuts, I can tell you, we had a case recently. We had the president of a company, it's a major manufacturer. He came and did our high impact presentations course. Blew him away. It was like, unbelievable course. I love this, fantastic. I want this for my team. Goes back to the company, says, okay, I want this training, I want this Dale Carnegie in here right now, make it happen. The HR function said, oh, I'm not too sure about this, we don't know. They blocked it. In the end, the HR person who was blocking it left the company. But imagine that, the president has done the course, has said, this is great, I want it, but internal conservatism blocked it. And now it's going to happen, but man, that's elongated the whole process. This often happens. The internal system will reject even senior leadership's direction because they don't want to take a risk. They don't do anything new. And we have to be very sure about this. So we have to be patient. We have to explain. We have to get seeing is believing. That's the bottom line. Seeing means we might send in a trainer to do a demo class inside their company. It might be we put people into our classes to test it, be the HR people or just people in the course. We can show them testimonial videos. We can let them come and watch, but it's until they experience it that they don't probably believe it. So, yes, it can be done, but boy, it takes time and it's hard work. The Carnegie multinational companies, they get it. They understand, right? We need high performance. We need it now on that course. Make it happen. Work it out,
And if the president says, let's do it,
it happens.
then it happens.
It happens, yeah. It happens.